About a month ago, I did one of the coolest things I have ever done. I hired a professional photographer, met them on a beautiful mountainside, and had my author photos taken. Hi, I'm Mollis Kinney, but you can call me Wallissimo. My debut novel, A Dark and Secret Magic, is coming out on October 8th of this year. Ever since I got the offer for my book, I have been highly aware that I am truly living inside a dream. And there are moments where I think, for whatever reason, I try and downplay it. I'm just like, oh, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I haven't really accomplished anything. We're celebrating. And I am trying to actively combat those kind of unkind thoughts. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is just constantly reminding myself of the fact that I am achieving this lifelong dream. And more importantly, there is no guarantee that I will ever publish another book. So if there is a time to kind of go all out, to obnoxiously celebrate publication, it's now. That being said, I decided fairly early on in the process that one of the ways I was going to be extremely indulgent with myself was to hire a professional photographer to take my author photos. I did so much research on this. I looked around at all the photographers local to my area. There was a large array to choose from, but I was having trouble deciding because I knew I didn't just want to do a headshot. My book, A Dark and Secret Magic, is very whimsical and magical, and I kind of wanted my author photo to reflect that. And then I came across Ellie Rich Photography, a Denver-based photographer who has an editing and creative style that just blew me away. I took all of like 3 minutes perusing her website and I knew that she was the photographer that I wanted to hire. The thing on Ellie's website that really sold me was her whole section about fantasy photography. When I scrolled through these photos, I just was mouth agape, could not believe what I was seeing. It is high concept, it's high art, it's beautiful. I was obsessed. Like my little Dungeons and Dragons loving heart just wanted to burst looking at some of these pictures. So I reached out to Ellie. I said, oh my gosh, I love your style. I'm a newbie author and I would love to have you do my author portrait. And Ellie, to her credit, was like, look, we can totally do the fantasy photos for you, but what if we also did some more professional ones? You know, not the classic headshot, but more professional portraits with just a little bit of a twist to make them more unique. But that way you can have those in your back pocket to give to your publisher if they want to put photos of you on the website or send out to press or something like that. And you know what? She just made excellent points and I was like, okay, yes, let's do that. We had some preliminary discussion before we actually met up just to discuss the concept and where we would be meeting. I told her, since I was a writer, I would love to incorporate books and writing and a general writerly aesthetic into the photo shoot. So she and her team gathered up props, I gathered up props for us to use during the shoot itself. The day arrived, I woke up, I did my makeup, I picked out my outfits because Ellie and I had discussed beforehand that we were gonna do a couple of different rounds of outfits. And then I loaded everything up, outfits, props, me, into my car and drove into the mountains. And we got so lucky with the weather that day. It was late February in the mountains. It could have easily been blizzard freezing conditions, but it was, it was chilly, but it was fine. And it was sunny and beautiful. And it was actually very windy, but that ended up working out totally in our favor with the photos. And let me just take a moment to comment on Ellie and her partner in her business and also her partner in life, her husband Dylan, who joined her for the photo shoot. They were amazing. So friendly, so professional and attentive. They literally would not let me do any work. They set up all the props for me. They engaged with me on the creative direction for all the pictures, and they made me feel so beautiful during the entire shoot. So let's go over some of these photos, shall we? And then after we reviewed them all, at the end, I will reveal which one will be my official author portrait. Oh wait, let me scoot over once again to make room for the actual picture. Although I did this for my cover reveal and I was like out of focus the whole time. So maybe I need to not do that. I don't know. This is gonna be editing Wallis's problem. Okay, let's start off strong with the picnic picture. I think this is so cute. This was one of the first setups that we did. I brought the picnic blanket, I brought the picnic basket, all of the pumpkins, and I don't know if you can see, but on top of that gray pumpkin right there is a little crocheted pumpkin made for me by the ever wonderful Marta. I really wanted to have that in the picture just because Marta made that pumpkin for me forever ago, and it really has been like one of my little talismans while I've been working on this book. So I definitely wanted to have it included in the photo shoot. But yeah, I love this picture. I think it's so cute. I love how like the mountains are kind of faded in the background. I love the little pose with my legs crossed, and you know, I'm writing with a quill in my journal. The quill was Ellie's idea when I said I wanted to do writerly things and have writerly props. She was like, do you have a quill and ink? And I was like, I have ink, but I don't have a quill. But luckily I was in England at the time. I was in London and I was like, I can get a quill. That being said though, here is another shot from that section of the photo shoot while I'm around the blanket. Fun little fact, can you notice how I'm holding that quill a little strangely? It's because it broke. And so I'm like holding it together right where it broke off, pretending to write with it, but the feather would have just fallen out. And it's not like the feather could be slotted back in, like it literally snapped in half. It was so sad. I really do love this picture. I look very contemplative. And that's just one of the amazing things about Ellie and Dylan, is that they had a great way of directing me, directing how my face should go, what I should be thinking about internally in order to get the right expression on my face. They were so iconically good at what they do. Then we had this little moment over by a fallen tree. They had me pose along the branches with a book that I had brought. I brought The Prisoner of Zenda because it was just a book that I had been reading at the time, and also a book that I really enjoy. And as you can see, the outfit that I had chosen for this first session, very romantic, kind of my vision of a romantic writer. In fact, I think I was wearing this shirt in my last video that I uploaded. Anyway, it's kind of a lacy, billowy top with a pleated skirt, and I did the braid in my hair because again, I just thought that was kind of a romantic touch, and I felt like it would translate across all the outfits that I had picked. This photo specifically is kind of funny to me because the way the light is hitting my eyes, I actually look a little teary-eyed, as if the book I'm reading has moved me so much that just the emotion is coming through. I'm gonna be so honest, this one is not my author photo because of that reason, just because I do feel like I look quite sad in this picture. But I also find this to be such an evocative photo. Like it leaves me questioning, even though I'm the subject, I'm still like, why sad? What's happening? You know, and I find that is inherently very artistic. So I actually really love this photo. Now they've brought me around. I'm sitting on a stump with the tree in the background of myself, and I'm just reading, and I've looked up for just a second, and it's as if you've called my name, and I'm just like, oh, but one more page. Just one more page, please, with that kind of like little mischievous smirk on my face, as if I know I've asked for one more page, but I'm planning on reading at least 3 more chapters. After the fallen tree and the picnic, they sent me back to my car, they cleaned up everything, and then I got changed into my second outfit of the shoot, which is on full display in this picture, which I like to call my Maria von Trapp meets Belle from Beauty and the Beast photo. Because tell me right now I'm not running around this mountainside saying the hills are alive with the sound of music. Tell me I'm not wishing I was far away from my provincial town. That's what this photo is giving. I'm sorry, I love it so much. After frolicking in a field for a little bit, they brought me into a more wooded area. They had me kind of playfully sneak among the branches of pine trees, and I call this one "Help me, my prince, I'm lost in the woods." I mean, look at that face. Look at me, I'm smizing. Also, I meant to say this earlier, but this dress I chose because it was kind of witchy. I literally bought it just a couple of days beforehand at a store in my town that kind of caters to the more bohemian, witchy aesthetic. And I purchased this because I wasn't trying to dress up like my main character, but dress up as someone who could be in my book. Does that make sense? Whatever. I felt like the patchwork was interesting. It had kind of a medieval peasant vibe, and I don't know, there was just something about it. I was like, ooh, it's giving witch. And so that's why I chose this dress. I really love this picture because of all the different textures. I think that sunlight coming in through the pine needles is quite mesmerizing actually. But then the foreground being more in shadow, something about it just speaks to me. I mean, in general, I love looking at myself, but I really like looking at this picture. We then found another tree for me to sit up against. You're gonna find that that's a common theme in this photo shoot, me and trees. And I really also loved this picture. And in fact, it was one of the first photos that Ellie sent me that was fully edited. And when I tell you I sent this to everyone, I sent this to my family, I sent this to the group chats, I sent this to everyone, and I was like, look at what is coming. This is what's happening right now. Thank you very much. The wind in the hair, just lifting it playfully like that. Hello? Hello? The way the sleeves are like billowing out, there's such motion, there's such excitement and delight, and yet I am serene. My face is just peaceful and amused, as if there's something kind of delicate but funny happening just off camera. I also love how this picture is very evocative of the changing seasons. We have the warmth of almost spring sunlight hitting those tree branches, and yet the ground is absolutely coated in snow. Ugh! I love this picture. Again, I just had the most magical time, and after about 2 hours, we were beginning to wrap up. It was the full throes of golden hour. There were tons of other photographers coming into this area with their clients doing engagement shoots and family portraits and stuff. And we were wrapping up, and Dylan turned to me and he said, well, you know, I know that this is more of a professional thing, but we did bring a couple of outfits if you want to do a fantasy shoot. Never in my life have I answered a question in the affirmative so quickly. Absolutely yes. Ellie took me and helped me get changed. They brought me this beautiful kind of olive forest green dress with a matching cloak and arm bracers. And I just happened to have brought my green leather journal with a brown strap that perfectly matched this ensemble. Once again, they put me up against a tree where gilded rays of sunlight streamed through and lit the branches, and then they snapped this photo of me. This picture is so beautiful to me. On Ellie's website, it specifically says that her goal as a photographer is to take the best picture of yourself that you've ever seen. And she 100% met that goal with me with this photo. Okay, so when she first sent it to me, I mean, I was gagged to the extreme. I was also a little mournful because I knew it couldn't be my author photo, just because that's not what author photos are, right? But I still was like, it doesn't matter. This is the best picture of me that has ever existed. I am going to print it off. I'm going to frame it. It's going to be a piece of art I put in my apartment and force other people to look at when they come over to visit me. I mean, like, look at her. She's ethereal. She's an elf guardian of an ancient wood looking at you, wondering why you've stumbled upon her sacred grove. She is my next D&D character. She is my whole personality. Anyway, thank you for coming on that journey with me. Now, drum roll, I'm going to reveal which one of these photos is my official author portrait. Get your guesses in. Is it I'm Lost in the Woods? Is it Just One More Page? Is it Pretty Little Picnic? Nope, it's the fantasy portrait. I did debate. I debated for quite some time. Again, I was being honest when I said when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous, but this could never be my author photo. But I just was like, this picture is just the picture to end all pictures of me. And it's kind of, once again, going into that idea of we are allowing ourselves to be overindulgent in this celebratory process of being published. So after a couple of weeks of debating, I emailed my editor and I was like, would this be okay? And she was like, absolutely yes. So I didn't need to be told twice. So this is the photo that I sent to Alcove to be my author portrait. Theoretically, in the back of A Dark and Secret Magic, there will be a copy of this. So not only will I be forcing the people who come over and visit my apartment to look at a framed piece of this photo, but anyone who buys my book, I'm also blessing them with this picture. I did also send the Just One More Page headshot to Alcove, so that way they can use that on their website. It's a much clearer picture of my face, and that way it's just a little bit more in line with the other photos that are on that website. I'm so glad that I did this, that I had this amazing magical day. Like I said at the beginning, no guarantee I will ever get to do anything like this again. And the fact that I allowed myself to have this memory of going out, meeting these wonderful artistic creative people, having such a lovely afternoon, being made to feel totally beautiful, I will remember it forever. Ellie and Dylan are the dream team. If I ever need to have pictures taken again and I'm still living in Colorado, they are absolutely who I'm going to call. Every single one of these photographs is such a gift to me because even though I do spend quite a lot of time in front of a camera, it's been a long time since I've allowed myself to be the subject of someone else's creativity and artistic vision and allowed them to bring out qualities in me that I typically am afraid to highlight. It really was such a special experience. And now at the end of the video, I get to officially announce that my author website is live, wallacekinney.com. It's actually been alive for like over a week, but these photos are plastered all over it. And so I felt like I couldn't make a video announcing that without first making this video. So there you go. You can go and check out information that's relevant to A Dark and Secret Magic. You can go and see these pictures that I've showed today. My website is literally like a shrine to myself. I was not going to let any picture go to waste, but you can also see other things. I have my future projects listed there. I have some of my favorite YouTube playlists listed there. And of course, the website will continue to shift and change and grow as I continue to figure out what is the best way to run an author website. Go and check it out if you want. I do have a newsletter now, so you can sign up for that at the very bottom of the homepage, or you can go to the contact section and send me an email because I set up a whole like official email through the website, and I can get little messages from you if you send me stuff. So please go do that because I love getting emails in my inbox, but also if you're busy, you don't need to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I want to know though, if you were going to have your author photos professionally taken, what would be your vision? What would be your concept? Because for me, it definitely was romantic, slightly fantastical and whimsical mountains. Like those were the three that I needed, and I felt like we accomplished that. I want to know what everybody else's artistic vision would be because I think that is such an interesting process. I am hoping to have another video up in just a few days. I'm aiming for next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, but I do have a cross-country drive to complete in the meantime, so we'll see. But until then, go be happy, go be healthy, and go write. Bye.